You know, we've all seen some really profoundly stupid vegan propaganda. Propaganda that's designed to make you afraid of eating animal products. They're the greatest evil ever, and they will destroy your life if you eat them. And this one's got me kind of animated. It's a display from a medical facility at a university here, and it shows allegedly the arteries of four different kinds of people. The vegan with the perfectly clear arteries, no blockages whatsoever. And then the vegetarian who's got this plaque buildup. Because, of course, a vegetarian eats animal products still. Even if they're not killing animals, they're still drinking milk or eating cheese or eating butter. And then the omnivore who eats meat. Oh, they've got almost no passage available in their artery for blood. It's almost entirely blocked. And the one that made me laugh when I saw it is the keto artery, which is entirely blocked off, except for one tiny little hole here. Now, I'm going to ask you a very basic question. If you're watching this channel, you're probably either on the carnivore diet or you're curious about the carnivore diet, or you're on the keto diet or you're curious about the keto diet. If you are on the keto or carnivore diets, I'm going to ask you a very basic question. What happened to your blood pressure? And I ask this because if your arteries look like any of these, other than the super clear one, your blood pressure would probably be through the roof. Not to mention, this keto artery, not only has it got like fat deposits beyond, like, not only got cholesterol, but it looks like they're putting fat deposits and even like a clot in the artery. This is the silliest propaganda you will see. The absolute silliest. Most of your keto influencers who are doctors happily will show you their blood results, or they talk about them and how they have no buildups in their arteries and they've been keto for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. How they're, if they'd had, arterial problems before they went carnivore or keto, guess what? They're gone now. And, you'll sometimes see in the comments of our videos, my videos, I've seen it in others, that everybody in our space are anti-science and living in a fantasy world. No, this stuff is anti-science. To tell people that eating animal products causes your heart to clog, your arteries to clog with cholesterol is anti-science. That's not where cholesterol comes from. Your body produces cholesterol as a hormonal response to things you eat. We know about the Randall cycle, folks. We know not to eat carbs and fat together. There's something that seems to be there that is the main culprit to why your arteries clog when you eat certain things. We know not to eat French fries, ice cream, those kinds of things, because they're a combination of sugar and fat. Don't eat the sugar and the fat, folks. It's a bad combination. But this is the kind of anti-science propaganda we deal with. It's sort of like, it's on the same level of dumb as people who say, well, I'm vegan, so nothing has to die for my food. I'm like, well, one, the plant had to die for your food. First and foremost, let's get that much straight. The plant died for your food, unless all you're eating are fruit. Fruitarians, I guess, will get a pass on that, but even they don't, because trillions upon trillions of animal lives and insect lives are snuffed out for agriculture. You cannot feed everybody on the planet a vegan diet and not wipe out large amounts of animals. All you have to do is go visit a farm that's growing these kind of crops, and it will be very quiet out there. You won't hear insect life because the pesticides took care of them. The tilling took care of the rodents. The birds don't want to go there. There's no food for them. And if they could eat the plants that are there, well, the pesticides would probably kill them too. So trillions upon trillions of animal lives are snuffed out for plant-based agriculture. If you really care that much about lives being preserved so you can eat, then you would eat in a way that takes the fewest lives. And you'd go buy a cow, have it slaughtered, and eat that for the course of the year. Then you could say, one creature had to die to feed you, because it is inescapable that something has to give up its life for you to eat. It is as simple as that. And this way of scaring people, something like satanic about it almost. It's like that it's that over the top. This is not where your cholesterol problems come from. This is not where your arterial clogging comes from. It's not animal products, folks. It's something else. I don't know what else to tell you. But the propaganda is getting dumb. And it's really weird too, because On the one hand, we see the system embracing keto, probably because there's money there, lots of it. Just walk around how many keto products you see at the store, carefully look at the labels, and you'll see that they're not actually keto because they sometimes contain up to 5 grams of sugar per serving. That's not keto, folks. You know, some of those keto breads, to make a sandwich with them will take half of your carbs for the day just to make a sandwich. So a lot of those keto breads aren't keto. But a lot of those other products, even the ones that are keto, when you look at them, the amount of seed oils in them, the amount of soy filler, the amount of just other stuff that you should not be eating as part of a regular, proper human diet are stuff full of them. But that doesn't matter because the system senses a chance to make money off them. So on the one hand, we get that. We also get the conflicting sort of messaging from the same system telling us, go plant-based, save the planet by going plant-based, which is nonsense. Absolute nonsense. As you saw in my video that I just did on the environmental impact of processed foods, most of the foods that we're being told to eat instead of meat are highly processed and will do more damage to the environment than eating a diet that consists mostly of ruminant meat, some butter, some eggs, some bacon, and occasionally some other forms of meat. It's just as a simple fact, especially when you factor in the ideal, which is to eat grass-fed, grass-finished beef. That's the ideal. Not necessary to do a carnivore diet and to thrive, but it is the ideal. Because grass-fed, grass-finished beef, they're just eating grass. There may be some pesticides sprayed or some fertilizer put on that grass to help it grow, but the environmental cost for that is so low, especially when you factor in the fact that these animals regenerate the land and they make land that is spent for agriculture usable for agriculture again. So when you see this kind of propaganda out there, ignore it. Have a good laugh at it. If you see some, please email it to me. I got an email address in the description box of my videos. Please send me an email with this stuff in it. This stuff is just mind-blowingly stupid. But you know what all this sort of reminds me of? This sort of reminds me of all the times that we have been told in the past that we need to eat whole grains. Whole grains. That heart healthiness comes from eating Cheerios or whole grain bread. Have you ever looked carefully at those packages of whole grain bread? You should sometime. Next time you're at the store, go into that part of the store you never go down. Not just the bread aisle, I mean the processed food section, the whole middle section of the store. And go grab the healthiest looking bread, probably Dave's Killer Bread or something like that. And go look at the ingredients. You're going to see there's not a lot of fiber in there anyway, even though they all tout fiber as being like the wonder solution to your problems. But it's still a lot of filler, a lot of added gluten, a lot of just junk softeners and things that, look, the bread that you see at the store today is not the bread that our ancestors ate in the Middle Ages or earlier. It's just not. They're like a weird sort of parody of it. They're like the McDonald's of bread. The best breads are like the McDonald's of bread compared to the bread that were eaten by our forebears. And people wonder why, health outcomes are just been annihilated in the last, century. It's because our food has gotten fake. And yet we're told by that silly picture that I'm just leaving up on the screen for the whole video that it's the more animal products you eat, the less healthier you are. We know that seems to be the case because I eat 100% of animal products. My diet is 100% animal product. How about yours? Has your health gotten better? Mine has. Noticeably. Unapologetically better. So no, I'm not going to let these people try to scare me away from a proper human diet. You shouldn't either. And if you think if you're curious about the carnivore diet and think cost is a barrier to entry, I have videos on how to save money, and I'm going to work on another one soon on how to save money on the carnivore diet, because this diet should not be expensive for you. It shouldn't be. Not when you factor in the fact you're not buying anything but meat, butter, bacon, eggs. But don't let that stop you from trying a carnivore diet. If you think the cost is too high, it's not. Again, if you're not buying that other stuff, if you're only eating beef, butter, bacon, eggs, a little bit of other meats occasionally, you're going to save money. I've outlined this before in other videos, and I'm going to start doing some videos again soon on how to save money on the carnivore diet because money is on everybody's minds right now. Anyway, let me know what you thought of all this in the comments, please. Like and subscribe if you haven't. It really does help. Share this on social media if you can. That helps a lot as well. I'm Anthony Stine, the Practical Carnivore, and thanks for your time today.